600. Yes, that's right. We churned out 600 shows. It goes and goes. 2 times 300. And thousands of promos for.
It's 11:59 at Radio Free America, and this is Uncle Sam with music and the truth until dawn. Right now, I got a few words for some of our brothers and sisters in the occupied zone. The chair is against the wall. The chair is against the wall. John has a long mustache. John has a long mustache. It's 12 o'clock, Americans, another day closer to victory. And for all of you out there on or behind the lines, this is your song.
And welcome everybody to our daily gun show. We come to you live every weeknight at midnight Eastern. That's 9 p.m. Pacific. We talk about guns for an hour. And it's our 600th episode, so that's kind of cool. We're going to just kind of wing it tonight. We got a bunch of people joining us. We got Bob back from Canada. Thanks for joining.
Hey, glad to be here.
We don't have any other hosts here. So we've had hosts in the past. Let's see, who was our first host after me and Bob started this whole thing? Was it Dano or Z? I think it was Dano. Then Z? Or did it go the other way around? Somebody will have to tell us. We had Dano and Z for a long time.
I thought it was Z. I thought it was Island Z.
I think it was Z first, and then Dano joined.
Okay, and then it was just the three of us, me and Bob and Dano for a bit, and then Jimmy joined in, and then Angelina, and we got Smeggy in there somewhere too. So
yeah, Smeggy jumped in for a bit.
So it's been obviously evolving show, and the format. I don't even think there's a way to count how many times we've messed with the format, and we've changed the time slot. We were talking about that a little earlier, but 600 episodes. I think we ended. Well, for a long time we could say we only missed like 2 or 3 in that whole thing, and then maybe last year or so with the funding and stuff, it's been a little tougher. But maybe we've maybe lost a month out of all of that somewhere altogether. But appreciate everybody that stuck with us all the time. A couple people. Can say a couple of people, one dude, one out of all of that somewhere. Who else ruining our show over here? Home of the Brave said he saw number 1. So we've had somebody who's seen the first show, except for me and Bob. I don't know who else might be able to see that. Let us know. And then you're all watching the 600 show. So we have other people joining us. Clover, thanks for jumping in from Texas.
Thanks, G. Good to be here. Congrats on 600.
Then we did this, we planned it 600 episodes ago to happen on your 1-year anniversary, so it worked out pretty good.
You didn't realize that, did you, Clover?
There's a lot going on. There's layers. We're playing 4D internet gun content creation.
I thought it was you were playing like 16D shoots and ladders. Is what it was.
It's all shoots from here. It's all ladders. Whatever the hell, it's all going forward from here. Died Horse was jumping in from Utah. Thanks for joining.
Howdy.
Along with Gary, been one of the consistent co-hosts lately. Thanks for that. Then we'll jump Ghost and go to Gary just because you have been on the show a lot lately. Thanks for jumping in again tonight.
Thanks for the invite and congrats.
Now we'll go back to Ghost, which, wait a minute, that's alphabetical anyway. So now we're down to Ghost. Thanks for jumping in tonight.
Thanks for having me. Congrats. As far as my quote of the night, just in honor of the 600, is the chair's against the wall.
That's a good one. Night Strike?
Shut up, be infringed! And thanks for the invite, and congratulations on the 600th episode.
You bet. And then Russ jumping in from Tucson. So we have 2 people from Arizona.
Hey, thanks for the invite. Appreciate it.
You bet. Thanks for the dog. And then we got Pink jumping in from Ohio. Who doesn't know he's in here yet, but he's in here. All right, well, we'll go out ahead, I guess. So it's a 600 episode. I think I've met everybody. I was just thinking about who I've met. Everybody here in real life except for Dead Horse. So except for Dead Horse, everyone's not a robot. I don't know. Bob's met Dead Horse.
I met Dead Horse. I vouch for him. He's real.
All right, well, there we go. And we know Charlie would have barked at him if he was a Terminator robot. So
Charlie didn't bark at him. He liked him.
Everybody can rest easy. No robots tonight.
Yeah. Although I must say, if this is a 600 show, doesn't that make us twice as good as the 300?
Oh, fuck yeah. We're so much better than all the other shows out there. But, because of the way we run our show, we allow all these other shows to happen. I think we're pretty good about that. We stick our show way in the middle of the night, and we suck really bad so that, we don't steal all their audiences right away.
I'm just saying, like, we're better than Spartans.
Oh, than that movie? Or just in the story in general?
Well, just, the story of the 300, we've now done 600. That makes us twice as good.
We do it without a sword, too.
Or you can slack off twice as much, Bob.
Well, that's true, too.
Thanks for the invite. Finally got my speaker or mic going, so thanks for the invite.
You bet. Thanks for jumping in. So I don't know if we filled the room now. 2, 4, 6, 8. There's still a seat. So one of the actual hosts might jump in tonight.
Wait a minute. Wait, I'm not an actual host? I mean, I was a host?
No, I'm saying one of the actual hosts.
The ones that are the live hosts, you mean?
Right. So anyway, all I'm saying is I don't know what's going on with Angelina. She rarely jumps in on Fridays, though. Smuggy is up traveling, and I don't know what's going on with Z. Probably didn't realize it's our show, and Dan, of course, working. So anyway, that's enough about that. What are we going to do for the show today? It's Friday, so we usually talk about industry, tech. I should say the letter N. Also the letter N. Hosh just jumped in from California. Thanks for jumping in. It's our 600th show.
Oh, Hosh Nazi.
And Bob's here.
Hey, man. Oh, I love this shirt. You must get lots of friendly smiles at the bar.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
How's it going, everybody?
What's up, Hosh?
Hey, Hosh.
I should probably be putting this on Instagram, huh? So for 600 episodes, we started this thing 600 episodes ago to really create we wanted to just be DJs. We wanted to create a platform because we knew how to put stuff on iTunes. And I had already had iTunes going for my own show. I would call it I Hate Guns back then. And then we had Yankees show on iTunes. We had Matt's on iTunes. We were putting Tech Daddies on iTunes. We had Haas on iTunes. Tacti Girl Lola. So a lot of people that were doing cool stuff back in the day, we were helping them by putting their stuff on iTunes. And then, so that was great. But there was people on gun channels that were either having live shows or just not doing podcast type of stuff. But we thought it'd be cool to have a place that they could put stuff. Did I just mute myself for that whole thing?
No, you're still going.
So we wanted to have a platform or a show, I guess, where people could throw in like 20-minute segments, and then me and Bob would do an hour, and we would just say, like, here's something for 20 minutes. And then we'd sit there, smoke a cigarette, and watch this video, and then say, hey, that was great. Here's the next one. And we wanted to encourage people to make content for this collaborative show that we were going to call the Daily Gun Show. And I think we ever got one thing ever. So that didn't work, but we ended up just kind of chatting. I don't even remember what the first format was anymore, but that was the original goal. And I think over the years we've evolved. I think the one thing that we have kept in there though is the concept of interactivity and the playing around with this new media and trying to use more than just the comments. So we had things like the tactical quiz. We do the hashtag, playing around on Instagram, trying to do the Monday behind the scenes type of stuff. And I think just in general, keeping the show off of the headlines, not reacting to the agenda-based bait news items that are dropped out there intentionally with an agenda and a strategy for us to continue to go after while we're not paying attention to the other things are honestly not just relieving from the stress. I think a lot of those things are set up to keep us, concerned and keep us frightened that what's the next thing they're going to do, right? So sometimes I think there's some value to having just some time to stress, right? Have some fun. Anyway, I'm going to quit talking. So again, thanks everybody for sticking with us through all the evolution and I don't know, what are we going to do tonight?
I think it'd be kind of cool if you've got access to the very first Daily Gun Show to show a little clip of it or something.
It's interesting. Oh, we don't. There's the first Daily Gun Show would have been on the Gun Website channel. All those videos are shut down, so they don't exist. But it was also called I Hate Guns. So I bought IHateGuns.com, I think back in like 2005 or 6, because no one owned it yet, and I didn't want some anti to own IHateGuns.com, right? So I bought IHateGuns.com and I didn't do anything with it for years. And then when I started thinking about doing a live show or taking the recordings of a consistent live show and putting them on iTunes, I guess that was, I don't remember anymore, 2014 or something. I decided to start calling my podcast the I Hate Guns podcast, and then that way I figured if anybody on iTunes said, "Oh, what's this all about? I hate guns too," then they'd watch my show, watch me and Bob be weird, and then go, "Oh, these gun guys are normal, or else they're weird, or I'm not afraid of them anymore." But I don't know if that worked or not. I think more people thought we were dumb for doing it that way, so we eventually switched it. And once Bob was kind of doing it on the regular, we switched it to Daily Gun Show, because I think I Hate Guns was probably bad branding. So anyway, there's probably 65 shows or something that are called I Hate Guns. So we did it for quite a while actually under that name. And did we ever call it I Hate Guns when you were on, Bob? Do you know?
Oh yeah. I mean, I think kind of that's when I started, is when it was still I Hate Guns.
So I can remember having it's maybe every third show I would talk about that, just so that anybody was concerned why it was called I Hate Guns.
Yeah, we that was quite common. Yeah, that because we used to get questions, like, why do you call it I Hate Guns? And all you do is talk about guns, how cool they are.
Because you just like them so much, you gotta hate them, right? It's just, you have to.
So we don't have the first show. We might have the first show on the Daily Gun Show channel, and I don't know when that was. Probably when Dano was a regular host, at the beginning of Dano being a regular host, maybe when Jimmy was first starting the early watch.
Oh no, it was before Jimmy. Yeah, it was. I might even been before Dano. I don't know. We've been doing it so long. Like, honest to God, I hardly remember the first shows. But
well, the first shows were probably you were down here, right? When one of the years when you came down here.
Oh, that's when we started. Yeah, that was not last year, but the year before. We started it when I was down there, and then we kept doing it when I came back to Canada, and then we kept doing it when I came back down. Yeah. We did a SHOT Show that one year. That was second year as a SHOT. Yeah, the second year as a SHOT Show.
I probably should have gone in and cleaned up the website, or at least spruced it up a little bit. But yeah, that's one of the aspects of the show I guess we could talk about, is all the places we've been, between me driving around and Bob driving around.
Yeah.
We've been to a couple of places and done the show live from there. It looks like we started on this channel, the Daily Gun Show channel on YouTube, on 8 months ago. And that was episode 419. And I'm guessing that had something to do with getting strikes and losing live stream on. No, it wasn't. It was we had no issues with live stream 8 months ago.
Oh no.
No, I did. 8 months ago, yeah, that's when I lost live stream on gun websites, and we didn't know where to put it. We really had to put it over here. So I think we were doing it on the gun websites one, just to get it in front of the 160,000 subs or whatever.
Yes, because like when we first went to the Daily Gun Show, it was like we couldn't get. There was something we couldn't do because we didn't have enough subs on it.
Right, we couldn't embed it over on
right.
We couldn't embed it anywhere because of YouTube. And then once we got to we were able to put monetization on it, and that was a whole effort in itself. So it's definitely the evolution of our show, at least over this amount of time, has been in, I don't know what to call it, like, in spite of YouTube's weirdness and screwing with us. So it didn't make it easy to get out a new show and that you could embed. And now it's impossible. You could not. We did this just at the last minute before they shut the doors on allowing a channel to just start, become monetized, and start embedding a live stream, because you had an account that could do that. Because now if I start a new YouTube channel, even though I've got established other YouTube stuff, it'll start empty, and I'll have to get to that 1,000 subs and meet all those thresholds before I can embed, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so it's been, like I say, a bit of an effort, and hopefully we've been sharing that along the way. On the Mondays, we talk about behind the scenes. Never as consistent as I'd like, but thanks to Clover, it's his first anniversary over on Gun Channels. I've been doing it well, a year, I guess, was, to the day. And with your inspiration to, to share the tech stuff outside of it, we've been including that in the show consistently, because that's what our goal is to go out there and explore stuff. We've got the time to do it, and the momentum. And if we can help figure out some things so that somebody coming along who doesn't have hours in a day to do it, doesn't have any funds at all, we're doing it with low funds, so we should be able to find cheap ways to do things. That's one of our goals, is to help people out with at least testing some things and offering advice when something works.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm screen sharing still, right? I'm gonna go over to the text chats over here and see what's happening, and then I guess I'll put out a couple of questions. Like I was saying before, we've broadcast from some neat places. Where's people watching tonight? Where have you enjoyed us broadcasting from?
Yeah, that's interesting, because I mean we did a couple of shows from the Pima Air Museum.
Oh yeah, walking around in there.
Yeah, well, we did one show because it was raining. We were underneath the B-36 to stay dry.
Which is giant. Oh, what am I doing here?
Oh yeah, it's one of the biggest combat aircraft ever built in the world, right? It's got like 6 giant radial engines and then 4 turbojets. I mean, it was an amazing aircraft.
Is that the one with the rear-facing motors? The rear-facing propeller? Oh my gosh, yeah, those things are huge.
Oh yeah, it's a monster. That's the one they actually tried to. They tested with a nuclear reactor to see if they could build a nuclear-powered airplane.
Then it would never have to land.
Yeah, but they actually ran a nuclear reactor in the back of the airplane.
It didn't
not
work.
powering anything, of course, just to see if they could. But the radioactivity was so. I mean, just to try shield a reactor in an airplane, because airplanes got to be light, reactors heavy. Oh, the turbulence didn't matter. I mean, we're talking a gigantic airplane, and yeah, they built airplanes right back in those days.
Do you have a campfire going on in the background, Bob?
No.
There's like a crackling I'm picking up. It sounds like you're around the campfire right now talking to us about days of yore. Sounds good.
Hottie's saying when we've been broadcasting from people's houses, so we've broadcasted from Edge's house twice now. We've done the show from Josh's house, I think, out front.
Yeah.
Oh, and we did it from the room. Oh wait, that was your show.
We did a van show, or no, we did Daily Gun shows from the van in front of my house.
Yep.
I feel like we did a Daily Gun show like 2 or 3 years ago from my living room or something like that.
With Smeggy? What did we? We could have.
Yes.
Yeah, I think there was one where you guys were in Hosh's living room.
Yeah. I think
now,
we did.
Whether that was a show or whether it was just a chat, I'm not.
Was that the time Smeggy spent the night at your house, Tosh?
Say again?
Was that the night that the time that Smeggy crashed from your couch?
Yeah.
Oh, did you get a new couch?
We subsequently did get a new couch, but I don't think it was because of Smeggy. Not necessarily related.
I remember the DGS when you were in New Mexico at the Red Dawn site. That was a pretty cool one.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are fun. I think we've done it a couple of times from Red Dawn places. We did it once from that Copper Star just north of Phoenix, where you can shoot the Red Dawn, the RPK from Red Dawn.
Yes, you you did the thing where you dumped a magazine off that RPK and on live on a show.
Yep. Live at Dr. No's place with all the pups. I think, did Z ever go live from there? I know I did once when I was there, but
I don't think Z ever did.
But then Marco's, yep, we've gone live from Marco's, and
my garage
went live from Pink's.
Yep, from the garage.
Yeah, I remember.
You went live from JM Davis in the van last November.
But yeah, I've gone live at JM a couple of times now. Did we go live from the silo that night, Ghost? Or that?
No, we didn't. No, because we couldn't get any signal. Remember?
Okay. So that would have been a good one. I don't know if I
That would have been a good
live
one.
from a silo in the morning that day, but it wasn't really Daily Gun Show, or maybe it was if we were doing it in the daytime then. But it might
I
have been.
remember the one that you were at the oh, what's his name? The guy in Colorado, the Dragon Man.
Yeah, Dragon Man's where he's out.
And you went live, and you're like getting mad at the Brazilians or whatever because they were talking so much or whatever it was.
Oh no, it was awesome. It was at the end of the big road trip, and of course the fucker in Vegas basically pulled all attention about everything to negative, right? And the media went crazy exploiting it. And of course, let's not forget that nothing has publicly been said about what was used in that room and how many people are in there, yet they're already passing legislation in more than one spot. The reason we do the show is to remind people of shit like that. That's the real deal. But yeah, that happened. And so when I showed up there, he was having an interview with some freaking media company out of Brazil or CNN out of Brazil or, some kind of a news thing like that had fancy cameras and what. And then some, I guess, gun-friendly local news was out there, and they kind of piggybacked their coverage. And I asked if it was okay if I just stuck around and did my filming too. So that's why he brought out like the flamethrower, and I got footage of that. And then he had a couple like an M16 along with the bump fire stock to show the differences and the similarities. But then we got a tour of the museum, which was not on a Sunday, so that would not have been an issue, or it would not have been a possibility probably, or it would have been a lot bigger favor to ask the guy, right? Except that he was already going to be doing it, so that was super cool. But yeah, I think I was live the whole time. I guess we probably count that as Daily Gun Show, even if it wasn't right on the right time.
Did a DSG from the Air Force Museum in Dayton.
Yeah. That was an interesting one with the name.
Yeah, we had a flyover. Air Force did a flyover for us.
Did you mention the Browning Museum?
Yeah, Bob at the Browning Museum. That was freaking epic. Who remembers the narration tour? What is it? I guess you call him a docent or whatever, the person who volunteers at the museum.
Yeah.
Edwards and Bob were there, and you guys asked them to walk us through, and they walked us through. It was freaking awesome. It was live. Very neat.
Yeah, and the guy told us, like, any question, like you guys would ask a question and he'd go, oh yeah, he'd tell you all about it, and it was like, fucking hey. Yeah, it was pretty cool. And then you did the one outside the ATF where they keep all the records for the 1404s or whatever you call them.
Yeah, that one.
473s.
I really like that one.
Yeah.
I've wanted to visit there since 2012, so yeah, that was a pretty good one. And
We don't have gun registration. We just have all the records.
Seriously, in those, they have them physically. But that thing isn't easy to get to. It's actually a pain in the butt because if you're going east to west, you wouldn't normally take that little back road. You'd be on a bigger highway. So it actually took quite a while to get down there. And whenever you're doing stupid GPS in the middle of West Virginia, I guess that is, or the edge of West Virginia, it doesn't know if there's necessarily, I guess it can know if there's an accident. But anyway, it got me there right on time for the show, or maybe like 6 minutes late if I remember. So it's kind of neat that, some of these times, I was able to get to the show. It was almost like, it just worked out more than once while we were traveling. It was pretty cool. Did we go live from that thing in Illinois, that bullpup shoot, or did I just go live separately?
I think you went live afterwards. Yeah, I don't remember you being live at the bullpup shoot.
Do we have against street sweepers? I don't think anything. I guess we did did we do the show at Angelina's house? They're saying the van with Angelina. So I think we did do the show in front of her house one time.
That's right. I remember you guys doing the show in front of Angelina's house, both crowded in the sweaty van. That sounded weird.
Bob, that's awful.
The van chat is called "I Hate Guns" in the side chat. Oh yeah. So Yeah, that's I hate guns when we changed it over. Whatever.
Oh, was that the van chat, not the gun chat? I don't know.
NRA with Marco?
Oh, I don't remember doing well, you might have done an NRA with Marco.
I never did NRA with Marco. So did Marco come live? Marco might have come on the show from NRA.
Oh, yeah.
I think it was Pink. Wasn't it Pink that went live from NRA? Wasn't it you, Pink, with Marco too? I thought that was a Pink thing.
No, I think it would have been Pink because Marco would have probably blown us off and gone and done his thing, especially those years of NRA.
Yeah. He'd been too busy taking pictures.
Quote unquote, taking pictures.
Trying to find out which pair of shoes to wear the next day.
Yeah. What color?
Networking. That's a better way of saying it. Networking with my quote signs up. So, Patriot in the Dark staying on the freeway in California with sunset. Yeah, that's pretty cool. On Malibu Beach there, doing my taxes.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, especially when we was trying to get pictures of the bird flying.
Oh yeah, because I did that one from inside that night. Let's see. So I found a couple of places I'd like to do the show from. I have to think about that. Bob, you've been driving around a lot. Where would you say an ideal place to do the show from? I think I'd like to do it from the Cody, Wyoming Museum. Still haven't been there. We've done it from JM Davis. I'd like to go live during the tour. Did any of us actually go live during the tour? At JM Davis?
I don't
think so.
So maybe next time let's go live. I don't know why we didn't. That seems.
I know we did go live. I think Clover, and a few others went live when we were sitting.
Well, I was to say during the tour, you know why? Because none of our phones will go live and record, and I think we all wanted a recording, right? And then that way, everybody just got screwed on the live stuff. But next time, I won't make that mistake. There was definitely no need for me to record any of that. You guys all have way better cameras, and you had, together had every single centimeter and every single second of his speech, right? So
we did go live in the couch area, though, James Davis.
No, I hear you, but I'm saying next time we go, we'll go live during the tour, just so then people can watch you. All right, so the rattlesnake part of a live show. Did I do that? I didn't find that during the live show. I think I just talked about it at the end. No, I couldn't have done that during. Are we talking about the rattlesnake in New Mexico, or was there another rattlesnake?
I think
the one you ran over.
Oh, I didn't run that over. I found that snake, but I know there wasn't a live show because I didn't have signal out there. I might have talked about it or pulled it out at a live show later in the day or something, I guess. Oh no, I did. Yeah, I pulled it out later on before I skinned it.
You showed everybody, before you skinned it, yeah. It was a good sized snake.
They're saying Bannerman. We went to Bannerman on Sunday though, so that's going to be tough. We're going to have to next time. I don't know if I had signal on the island, and I don't know why I don't remember that. Again, I think it's because I was trying to record. So I think if I'm on the road again ever, I need another phone, right? I need a phone to be able to go live on and a phone that I can record on, so I don't have to make that either or decision. But yeah, I think it would be cool to do it from the castle for darn sure. We'll just make a special edition because I don't think we'll get to the island on a daytime.
Yeah, you need an intern.
I can do a show from a Titan, the silo. It's not going to work inside, of course, but we can. I'm sure they wouldn't care if I go live up in the top. We can poke around and go into the museum and stuff. Hosh might find that one neat because the Titan II Missile Museum, right? It's basically intact. So the missiles are in their 9-story silo, and there's the like 3 hardened antennas that would pop up after a nuclear strike or whatever. But then there's one, I don't know what you call it, looks like a giant Christmas tree.
Yeah, the disc cone.
Yeah, so
we talked about that.
Yeah, we've talked about it before. It exists and it's in good shape, and is with a ham you can go up with a ham radio license. You can go up and sign into it basically and use it. So yeah, it'd be interesting to try to go out there sometime and go and maybe do some kind of team up with the are the
ham people.
Yeah. So I mentioned that to a lot of hams since I heard you mention it. And it's like a thing. A lot of people like do a little pilgrimage out there to work ham radio off that thing. It's still totally capable and they can get all over the country with it, if not outside the country.
Because
Yeah,
that's
I was gonna.
designed to reach far, right? That's that kind of antenna to reach far.
Yeah. It's huge. It's huge.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, like, how far can that thing reach?
I don't know its elevation and its height, but depending on propagation, there's no reason why it can't do super long haul to other countries. Even there's.
It was probably to get to NORAD or something, Colorado,
probably,
or maybe then some sort of a relay that they had set up.
Intercontinental would be easy with that thing, no problem.
The castle is in New York. It's on the Hudson River. It's an island on the Hudson River, just north of West Point. So I think he said 45 minutes train ride north of the city. Well, that's definitely a lot of places. We haven't had much guests. That's one of my. Oh, appreciate that. Somebody just bought something, I think. So it's Free Patch Friday, and it happened during the live show. So that $20 is going to get you a lot of stuff. Do appreciate that. Seriously, every little bit helps. We're going to lose another $40 on Patreon this month. Frustrating, but anyway, one of the things I think is a failing over the 600 shows is the guests. I see some people, that just wail on guests. That do guests every day or something. I don't think I could handle that. I'm not interested in doing that. But I definitely would like to work this show with the Every Second Matters effort and have the Second Amendment advocates on, the researchers, the people that have created the organizations that we all are familiar with, and ask them the kind of questions that aren't like, what are we doing next, or why do you need money, or whatever. I want to ask them where they started these organizations and that kind of thing. And then I don't know, just some other interesting people that I've known or that I think would be interesting, which probably aren't the typical guests on shows. But anyway, I haven't ever been able to do that part of it. It's just too many oars in the water, I guess, trying to keep things going. But that's one of our things I guess you can look forward to. So even though we might be at 600 episodes, we're not over. Lots of things going or planned still. Lots of I got a whole whiteboard of stuff here that I just keep putting on the pile so that once we've done some project, we got others to to do next.
Well, I think that'd be one thing to look at is get more guests on, and I think it really comes down to just going out and asking, right? A lot of people,
nothing to do with asking. Guests are easy to get on a show. It's getting emails sent out to them and then being available when they're available. I mean, I wish I had time, to do what I want. But if somebody calls me and says, "Hey, I can give you $50 if you can drive this over here in your van," then guess what I'm doing? I'm stopping everything and I'm driving over there to try to get $50, drive something around in a van, or selling stuff on eBay and stuff. I gotta, there's just too many little things going on to be able to plan that out and be available and be a good host to a guest. Some of that is, just the back end of it, and it's just us. So, well, what it's like. So anyway, no, it's not the trying to get a guest on. It's trying to get the show to a point where handle the guest or the back end of that. CW is asking, did Dead Horse ever finish reading the history of the 556? I think he was good 3/4 of the way through it, or maybe almost, and then he got sick, but then you got the reloading stuff. So that's a good question. When is the fans want to know when we're finishing this 556 saga?
Yeah, this week, along with some reloading stuff too. And I thought that'd be real good to try and tie in this reloading with it, right?
I'm
just
glad
kind of makes sense.
Last week when you kind of got sick of talking and you decided to chop it, I'm glad you did, because as interesting as the reloading stuff is, I think it would have been too much to have like an hour of reloading and then an hour of 556. So yeah, cool.
Yeah.
But been a great series.
Why would you reload 5.56? Why wouldn't you just buy 22 rimfire? It's pretty much the same thing.
People wanted Bob back, and that's what happens when you get Bob back.
I'm sorry I make fun of tiny little bullets. I just do.
All right, so now we're going to talk about people who have been around for a while, some of the segments that have been around that you're interested or that you liked or enjoyed. And with that, we'll dig into, is there anything on the schedule that we can hit today? Or there wasn't a lot on there. I think there's a history thing. But was there any segments or anything that anybody particularly liked? Oh my goodness, there's all kinds of calendar stuff coming. No? Thanks.
I've always liked a good idea, bad idea, because that always gets some good discussion going, you know?
Yeah, I think those, sometimes I think it is meant to be funny. Oh, thank you. But it ended up, yeah, exactly, kind of, we would sometimes spin that off into some interesting, discussion, I guess.
Yeah, we'll call it discussion, yeah.
Yeah, I really like that, especially like good idea, bad idea. You know, tiny little bullet, big bullet. You know, still on that kick.
I like big bullet. Bullet best with big.
Women always tell me they like my big bullet. They don't like little bullet. Just saying.
All right.
This big around, but this long.
So today's the 29th. And it looks like we have a couple of things happening on the 30th and then happening on the 1st. So 30th, Browning patented his pump shotgun. So the 1893 takedown model, known as the Winchester 1897.
Yeah, one of my favorite shotguns, actually.
Yeah,
absolutely. I agree with you. Exposed that hammer on the outside.
Yeah.
Love that look. I love that look on a shotgun, man. You don't get that. You don't get that anymore.
There's not too much wrong with that gun. Number one, they look awesome. So, you know, they're from 1897. Oh, wow. Appreciate that. Thank you again. Unless that's like somebody demanding a refund, which. So, 1890.
I made my order and then canceled it immediately. Sorry.
That's what I do.
They just like to do it.
That's what I was going to do.
It's an 1897, and they're not all that old. A lot of them are from the 19s, but anyway, they're old, so they look awesome. The weathering and there's no way that gun that you're going to find affordable isn't going to look awesome. Just look the way an old shotgun should. But it's a slam fire and it's a breakdown, and you can get them in 12 easily. So yeah, just one of the coolest. If you got to get a stupid shotgun, then get a Browning.
One of my favorite guilty pleasures is watching the remake of The Mummy. When the dude like throws his bag on the table and he just starts loading up all his stuff, and he's got that shotgun, the breakdown, and he puts it in sideways 90 degrees and turns it, and you're like, yes. That's not a great movie, but that scene's very good.
It's a fun movie for watching.
It's fun. It's fun.
But that's the thing. You pick up like an old cowboy gun, not a replica. I mean, replicas are fine. Replicas feel different because they don't have that age. They don't have like the rounded corners and stuff. So find a real one at a store, and they'll let you pick it up and then fiddle with it, you know, operate it. There's something about 100-year-old metal. I mean, it was made 100 years ago, so it's just different metal than we have today. And then it's existed for 100 years with these parts interacting with each other. So something about holding one of these Browning shotguns is just, it's an event, right? It's more than just picking up an 870 or picking up a Mossberg. And, you know, debating which one is lighter or, you know, which one you like the trigger better. It's like an experience, you know. It's like shooting a large rifle or, you know, shooting something. Well, I guess I'm trying to say, like, just the feel of it. There's just, like, you know, I guess I was going to say between, like, driving a fast race car and then just, like, a big family sedan. Like, they feel different when you drive them. It's just going to feel different to hold up an old Browning. They're just denser, and the wood is, I don't know, there's less wood, you know. The new guns have a big fat grip on them for whatever reason, and they just didn't do that stuff back in the day. And it's just that little subtle stuff that makes holding an old one. Pretty cool. Anyway, so that's did I say what year? 1897. It was actually 1890 that it was patented. So Browning patented the shotgun, sold it, and then to Winchester, and it was eventually called the 1893, and then the 1897 is the takedown version. June 30th also. So tomorrow is the Federal Firearms Act, the anniversary of that. So we had the 1934, the NFA, the National Firearms Act, was 1934. And just to make it ultra confusing, you have a FFA, the Federal Firearms Act, in 1938. But you think of FFA, think of FFL. The Federal Firearms Act, the FFA, created the FFLs, the licensing and whatever on manufacturers and importers and sellers. So that's been happening since just 4 years after the first federal firearms legislation, 1934. And we don't really talk about it too much, but it's a pretty major one. And I think it's important to talk about those, one, so that we know how many infringements we have, right? And number two, who knows where there's an angle? Maybe if we can chip at that one, then FFLs don't need to exist. That means you don't need to serialize, guns that are manufactured, and what kind of implications might that have? So those who ignore history and all that, so let's not ignore it. And then last, we have one for July 1st, is I guess an anniversary, much like our 600th show. It's it's 1972. So what would that be? 40-something years. July 1st, 1972, the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms was created. So, okay. I think Ghost just had a video come out about a witty saying with that.
Yeah, I did a little recap update of how many comments were on the latest comment period and all that stuff, and yeah, it's out there.
I liked your thumbnail though. Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms should be a convenience store.
Yeah, I saw that on a patch at SHOT Show, as a matter of fact, and I remembered it, and I was like, oh, I gotta use that.
All right, so we talked about segments. You guys talked about some. Let's see if anybody in the watching out there has brought up any. No, thanks for the encouragement, and thanks for the people that did buy some stuff tonight. That was good.
Encouragement. Nobody's talking, man.
I'm reading the chat out there. And then, all right, so anyway, that was our day's history stuff. I guess I could click on this link, though, now that I know how to work it. We'll see if there's anything. We found a much better history site. Dead Horse gave us a military history site. So what are we on, the 29th, I guess? And then we scroll down. So 1502, Columbus arrived at Santo Domingo and his fourth voyage to the New World. So 1502 is his fourth voyage. 1541, the Spanish first crossed the Arkansas River. So 1541, they first started bugging the Indians around your neck of the woods. I'm assuming.
Yeah, that's interesting. I didn't realize it was that long ago. Wow, that's interesting.
Vikings were like 100 years before.
Says Coronado continued to explore the Southwest. He left New Mexico, crossed Texas, Oklahoma, and East Kansas. So, headed your way. I didn't know he went that far either. I thought he went to California and Arizona and went back. Left a bunch of diseases and left.
Right. Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah, actually, that's not that far wrong.
1835, I thought, was a pretty important date.
I was going to say 1652, Massachusetts declared itself an independent commonwealth. So 1652, Massachusetts started saying, Which one? 1804? No.
1835.
Thank you very much. 1835, determined to win independence from the Mexican state of Texas, Travis raises a volunteer army of 25 soldiers and prepares to liberate the city of Antioch. How do they say that? Antioch.
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 Yeah.
And that guy was just a lawyer, right? And he raised an army. Like this lawyer just raised an army and was like, "We're going to liberate this territory," right?
You know why? You know why? How Travis ended up in Texas?
It says here, but I'm sure you guys know more than this paragraph is going to tell me.
Yeah, his wife basically screwed around on him. She was pregnant with another man's baby, and for fear of being disgraced or whatever, he packed up in the middle of the night and went to Texas.
Oh.
So there you go.
Well, that's probably why a lot of men are in Texas.
This says, born in South Carolina, raised in Alabama, Travis moved to Mexican-controlled Texas in 1831 at the age of 22. Doesn't say why. It says he established a legal practice in Antioch, a small frontier town about 40 miles east of Houston. East of Houston? Is that even Texas? From the start, Travis disliked Mexicans personally and resented Mexican rule of Texas politically. So in 1832, he clashed with the local Mexican officials and was jailed for a month. When he released, the growing Texan independence movement hailed him as a hero, strengthening his resolve to break away from Mexico by whatever means necessary. Oh, I should have said by whatever means necessary. Early in 1835, the Mexican president, some year or another, of Santa Anna overthrew the Republican government and proclaimed himself dictator. Greatly fearing some Texans would rebel, Santa Anna quickly moved to reinforce Mexican control and dispatched troops to Antioch, among other areas. Accustomed to enjoying a large degree of autonomy, some Texans resented the presence of Santa Anna's troops and turned to Travis for leadership. On this day in 1835, Travis raised a company of 25 volunteers. The next day, the small army easily captured Captain Summery and other, the leader of Santa Anna's forces, and forced the troops to surrender. More radical Texans again proclaimed Travis a hero, but others condemned him for trying to start a war, I guess, and maintained that Santa Anna would be dealt with short of a revolution. By the fall of 1835, however, the conflict had become inevitable. Texans prepared to fight for a war of independence. As soon as the rebels had formed an army, Travis was made lieutenant colonel in command of the regular troops at San Antonio. In 1836, he joined forces with Bowie, Army of Volunteers, and the Alamo. So the following day, 4,000 of his men Santa Anna laid 4,000 of his men siege to the Alamo. With less than 200 soldiers, Travis and Bowie were able to hold off the Mexicans for 13 days.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's amazing that just with 25 men, he did
Well, I don't know.
So with 25 men, they could work
against those forces, yes.
Good. 25 men in this day in what, 1835? Let's talk about how many men are we going to need. How many men and women are we going to need in 2018 to do pussy work on the fucking internet, right? That's all we really need to do. These guys had to lay down their lives for real independence, and we just need to defend what they died for. So
5 men literally started a revolution. Literally.
Right. Takes 5 to encourage 25, and those 25 can get work done. So
isn't that the way that's the way the American Revolution started, right? It was less than 10%.
More recently, the Arizona Citizens Defense League started with 4 dudes that I know at a Waffle House, and hey, let's get this done already because Arizona should be freer than this. And now they have however many 3,000, 6,000 members, I forget, and they've got constitutional carry here in Arizona, which was used as a model in other states. So
they also have chapters all over the world. Actually, they have it in Canada, in Mexico, I think it's somewhere in South America as well. I mean, the Arizona Citizens Defense League, that Citizens Defense League has become more than just what it started as.
Sure. Okay, well, gotta get political. 600 episode. That's why we're better than other shows. 1863, Lee ordered his forces to concentrate in Gettysburg. I don't know why that's in here. There's all kinds of stuff in here. Is the stuff in bold, I guess, more relevant? President Truman approved a plan today to invade Japan. That was in 1945.
Was that the plan to use atomic bombs or just the general plan to invade Japan? you know.
It says here the plan called for 5 million troops, mostly Americans. Some town I can't pronounce is to be invaded on November 1st with some 13 divisions, and some other town to be invaded on March 1st with 23 divisions, including U.S. forces from the First Army of Europe.
Yeah, that would have been without the atomic bomb.
Yeah, I think this is like
that would have been. I mean, it would have been literally.
This was the initial plan then.
Yeah, because I mean, the Japanese were training their women and children to attack with bamboo spears. I mean, it would have been just the.
So a division is between 10 and 20,000 dudes, and they were going to send like 13 divisions into one town and 23 divisions into the other town. So 400,000 troops, 500,000. They were not fucking around. They were about to. They were going to flip Tokyo over, or flip Japan over by all standing on one side of their island.
Basically, yeah. I mean, it as much as people like deplore it. I mean, the nuclear weapons, the atomic bombs saved lives. I mean, they really did. In one night of just regular bombing on Tokyo, they killed 80,000 people from a firestorm. I mean, and that was just regular bombs. They killed less people with the nukes per bomb. They saved lives. It really did. I mean, as much as people like.
Nobody's contesting that.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying. Well, people do. People do.
Not in this chat, so
well, not in this chat, but yeah. I just wanted to.
So the other thing that's cool about this site, and we'll probably just start linking. It's called the Day in U.S. Mil Hist. So it's kind of like an abbreviation of this day in military history. We'll start linking to it on the show description, though, because this is an excellent site. Thanks again, Dead Horse. It has at the bottom of the extensive, it goes back a long ways, and there was this whole time I've been scrolling through interesting stuff. It's all military related, and awesome thing to check out on a daily or whenever you have a chance to check it out. At the bottom of that list, they offer the names and then the acts for the people that were awarded a Constitution or a Congressional Medal of Honor on this day. And just like the last time we looked, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 dudes, 8 people did something that today they were awarded a Congressional Medal of Honor, highest thing we can offer. And yeah, that's sobering when you think about it. That many people today, we didn't do nothing, but we can get out there and do something. I'm going to leave it at that because I'm sick of preaching to everybody. It's been awesome 600 episodes. Like I say, we got plenty more. The people that ring that bell are financially keeping us going. That gives us time to do the different things that need to get done. We've got a lot of things we're shuffling, but hopefully it's worthwhile to everybody that's following along. I don't know what else we want to say.
Well, I just want to thank everybody for watching all the shows up until now. And hopefully in the future I'll be able to make more, be back on the show if Chiba puts up with me. So
you want to give away some patches?
Please, let's do that. How do you want to do it?
I don't know. Probably come up with a question.
Yeah. So back in the day,
I'll throw one of mine into that package also.
Sweet.
Back in the day, we would do the tactical pop quiz, and I don't remember how we even did that. What we'd do, just a randomly noise would come up, and then we would have a quiz. For the longest time, Dano took care of it, so I have to kind of think for a minute how the heck he did it.
Well, now that we have Bob can yell at the winner, so we might as well do it.
Yeah. Right. Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
So I'm, of course, clicking on something else over here, so eventually I'll find what I'm trying to click on, and then I'll click this. All right, so I guess, does anybody have a question?
Yeah, I can throw one out there. We're talking about just a gun question, hopefully not too terribly difficult.
Okay, so then we're going to take the answer on the Gun Channel side, of course, because we're super biased for Gun Channels and GunTube, except we're not playing it on GunTube tonight. But if you're watching on the Gun Channel side, or I mean on the YouTube side, get over on Gun Channels, and then you can get in on this. And I was just going to remind people that right now the chat on the Daily Gun Show page there, any of the chats on the pages themselves, that code is old. So we left it there so that there's still a chat. But the decision was run the new thing that they had, which is horrible. Trust me. I don't know who saw it when we were playing with it, that couple of hours that we had it on. It was horrible. It sort of made private messages in the chat room the same. So I don't know what they're doing. But anyway, the new code that would let it auto refresh is bad. So it's a horrible interface. So I chose to leave the old interface that we're all used to. But the problem is, because it's old code, it means the page won't refresh automatically. So every once in a while, you got to go up and hit refresh on your browser if you're just going to use the text chat that's on the main channel page. But if you go down to the bottom where the buddy list is, or whatever you want to call the list of users, and it's got the chat rooms down there, that chat room will always catch up with you after one refresh. So if you go to a new channel in Gun Channels, just hit refresh once, and then it'll the channel that, or the chat room that pops up from that bottom bar or it should be the chat room for the room that you're in, and that one will automatically update. That one, the code is up to date and it's scrolling through. I just went through all that because if people are going to be competing for a prize here, I don't want them to be putting it in the wrong spot and not realizing that other answers are coming up that they might not realize. And hopefully that gave people enough time with the lag and everything to get over to Gun Channels and do their thing.
You know what time that is, what sound that means.
You guys remember it better than I do.
I think it was, you know what that sound means? It's time for the tactical pop quiz.
Something about cracking the knuckles and break out the keyboards.
That's what it was. That's what it was. Yeah.
Something along those lines. So here we go. This is the 600th show. This is going to be first correct answer on the Gun Channel side. We'll get this. And the question is, who is credited for inventing the very first rimfire cartridge?
I feel like Angry should be winning this one. Pink can't because he's in here.
I'll repeat.
Yeah, I knew this one too.
I will repeat the question. Who is credited for inventing the first rimfire cartridge?
Not Colt, it's not Ruger. Brownie didn't waste his time on rimfire.
Got it.
Wait to centerfire.
Angelina got it.
Angelina got it.
Oh, this is rigged. Completely rigged.
No kidding.
Angelina got it. The answer is Flaubert. Louis Nicholas Flaubert, actually. Or Flaubert, maybe, considering he was French.
Probably Flaubert.
Flaubert.
Bruce gave the full answer, though.
Roosted has a better answer because it starts with Frenchman.
Oh, so he copied and pasted it from the
I
internet.
still say Angelina got it. Come on.
She didn't say which Flaubert.
No,
Yeah.
she didn't.
Maybe she was talking about a hairdryer. What do we know?
That's true. Or maybe the little guy with the big nose that jumps around on the boxes. No, wait, that's Kubert. Never mind.
Yeah, that's a keyword.
I was gonna say, quit making fun of Bob. He doesn't have that big of a nose.
Well, there you go, Bob.
Well, I guess Angelina's getting the patches. Have you guys already sent her patches before?
All right, that little stumpy Marine's being mouthy again, isn't he?
There's
it's past my bedtime, so I'm cranky.
I suspect Angelina already has a Gun Channels patch. I don't know if she's got.
Still stumpy.
You guys were
Okay.
talking about.
Well, do we want to? We can do another one and give away the Gun Channels to somebody else.
Yeah, I say let's do another one.
Somebody else come up with this one though. Go ahead.
Plus, we don't want girls winning our contest.
Somebody else jump in. Oh, by the way,
Angelina's a girl?
I never knew that.
Oh, I know. So, well, she's from California. I just thought she was like one of those.
Oh, by the way, if you win, I need your address.
Same here, Angelina. I'll send you an email tomorrow.
I don't know if I'd give those guys my address, Angelina, or Angie, Angelo, whatever.
Are you having another stroke, Bob?
He's definitely digging himself a hole.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
yes.
yeah, I know. I'm gonna meet her, and she's gonna pound me into the ground.
So somebody else got a
Yeah,
question.
but at least this time you won't break a rib.
I'm going to go back to our notes, and I'm going to go over to the page that we have here that's called, I don't know where Dano has it. Somewhere in here he's got a thing called Tactical Quiz. And then I'm going to go find the first question that's listed in here.
There you go.
And we'll see what happens. Oh, that's the wrong one. So we'll still keep looking for it. Tactical Pop Quiz. There we go. So Dano has accumulated something like 261 trivia questions in here.
Nice.
A lot of them with the help of Angry for sure, Pink, Pawnery.
That's it.
Contributors.
261. How many gun of the days are there? No, I'm just kidding.
So the first one in here is, this is not going to be easy, so you're going to be able to make it open book, I suppose. But it is just for the gun channel side, of course, because again, our preference for that side. Who supplied the gold AK for the movie Lord of War? There was a movie called Lord of War, and there was a gold AK in it, and someone supplied that, and I guess that's widely known. Who is that? You'll have to know the name of the company. And that is easily found. So, I don't know. Is anybody watching? Oh, I guess I should tell you guys what it is.
Yeah, but I don't know what the answer.
I don't know.
Tell us the answer, though, G.
If only there was a website that you could ask a question, they'd give you answers.
There you go.
Oh.
So, that's a good one. That's an old one. It is not JR's custom AK. Not Century Arms.
Nope.
Color. Lord of War.
Saddam Hussein.
There it is. Rooster got
Spelled wrong, but Rooster spelled it. He's probably pecking at that with his beak. So.
Right. All right. Well.
Good effort.
And yet he still beat all the people with fingers. Oh.
All right. Same thing, Roosted. Shoot me I need an address. So. Well, I may not need an address from Roosted, do I? I don't know. I don't know if I have it or not.
You know what? Let's see if our old-fashioned website still has the. It should still have the thing. Oh no, it doesn't. Hold on. Oh yeah, it does. Okay, we've got the thing here, so go ahead and fill it out. Go ahead and pick a patch off of the panel there too. There's a chance that it's an old picture and it won't be there anymore, but for the most part, they're most of them are still there. So when I get the
no Bob patches, they're all gone.
I'll forward the address off to Clover and Ghost, who both generously offered to supplement tonight's Tactical Pop Quiz. Actually, they instigated it. I would have totally blown it off. So thanks, guys, for reviving that.
Yeah.
That's something that I desperately want to do. If you go back, if there was possible anymore, because remember, I had to take all my videos down, and Matt has already deleted all his videos. I have not deleted mine because it's tough to push a delete button on 4,500 videos that I've been making for the last 8 years. But at some point I probably will, because I'd rather have a channel, right? But Matt's already deleted all his videos. Matt was the only other one in 2011 or whatever it was to start doing live stuff. We literally were the first two to start doing it. And when we were still playing around with it, coming from the days of Quick, which was the first live streaming that we ever did, and then Blog TV, which was the next one that came along. Hosh remembers all these days. I think Hosh was in the game show, actually. Hosh is in the game show. What I'm getting to is we did a game show, and we did 3 episodes of it, and this was in 2011 or 12.
I was the first winner. I beat DB Cooper.
DB Cooper. Matt was my Vanna White, and yeah, and it was pretty cool. And it took me all afternoon all day really to set it up. and it was like a half an hour long, and it was one of those things that was before its time, I guess, and we just didn't continue. It wasn't worth putting the time and effort into it after 3 episodes, but it's always been something that I've wanted to pursue. So I've got the thing ready, and it's I've got the interest in it. So if anybody is interested in helping out with that, are certainly interested in somebody who might want to help make the Tactical Pop Quiz a weekly thing, ideally, or monthly if necessary. But I'd really like to make it a weekly thing. Maybe we can stick it on Saturdays, where we have sort of still a dead spot in the schedule, or Sunday. Well, Sunday's getting pretty full, so maybe Saturday after some of the live stuff, or maybe between Rick and the live stuff. But anyway, I've just thrown that out there. Thanks for you guys, Ghost and Clover, for bringing the Tactical Quiz back for our 600th show.
Yeah. Oh, thanks for doing what you do, bro.
You say something, Bob?
Got roosted and Angelina, Bob. Let them have it.
Nope. I'm not saying nothing. Angelina's out there. I'm not going to say a word.
Oh, come on.
Just for old time's sake. Come on.
No, I was going to say I really like the Tactical Gun Show, but I am not going to be the Vanna White. I think we know who the Vanna White should be.
No, I think people are waiting for someone to acknowledge who the winner of the thing was. Who was roosted.
Oh, right. Oh,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
I missed that completely, guys.
One job.
It's only 580th show.
This is why I don't work on the show anymore. I mean, I'm just like too out of it nowadays.
Bob's too old. He's too old. He's retiring.
Yeah, I think roosted. I think what they're trying to say is that makes you the tactical shot of the day.
There it is.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
It's been a while.
It has.
You should record. You should just record that and just put it on a soundboard, so you don't have to do it every night.
Right.
Yeah,
Right, boss.
Yeah, but
I think that gave me a hernia.
well, hell, that didn't even hurt that bad. Usually they hurt way worse than that. Man, we're getting a thunderstorm here, so rain's just starting to hit.
I didn't know that Woody Woodpecker was on the show tonight.
Listen, dude, you get me together, go to a bar, have a few beers. Yeah, you'll hear that a lot.
So now we're going to exit it, but again, this whole show is to get the internet up, or get conversation about guns up off the internet and into real life. So I'm going to go left to right and tell us, everybody in this room, who you've met, because pretty much all of us are 6 degrees of bacon, right? Bob, the number, maybe with Marco, Bob's met more people on gun channels in real life than Bob and Marco are the tie for that one, I think.
Yeah. Oh, I've been thinking as I can hardly remember. It's been a whirlwind. Last couple of years since I started talking to everybody on the internet. I mean, I got to meet. The thing is, I've never got to meet the guys that I've had the grief with, like Dano, people like that. It's just, but
Never got to meet anybody you had any grievance with. Never got to pick out any aggressions on anybody that had any internet.
I remember a Sharpie war. Just saying.
Well,
I remember a broken rib.
Yeah, but Hosh was never it wasn't any grievance. It was just like no, you're wrong and I'm right and you're wrong, and oh please.
And Bob's excuse.
I still think it was. And I still say, if we'd been on a beach where I could have actually threw you, I mean, I'm just not going to throw you on asphalt, even though you knocked me down on asphalt because you're an ass. But never mind.
Yep.
I don't think he touched you.
You got me on that one.
I think you just kind of fell over.
Oh, please. I could have broke his knee in the first 2 seconds.
Broke his knee.
Okay.
So Bob, who
I touched your knee with my foot and went, eh. And that should have been the end of it, right? Because at that point in real life, you would have been laying down going, ah.
Bob, put the beer down.
Answer the
and
question.
Focus.
So,
Put the beer down and focus.
Bob has met Dead Horse. He has met Hosh.
Dead Horse, I've met Hosh. I've met. Oh, crap. I don't even remember. Honest to God, I really don't. There's too many people.
In this room, though, you've met Hosh, Dead Horse, Pink,
Dead
and me.
Horse. And you. Yeah.
All right. So then Clover.
You, Ghost, Gizzard, Night Strike, and Pink.
So
Oh,
hopefully,
I met Pink too.
and that's why we included him in your list. And hopefully somebody's keeping track of who's winning. Who won there? Bob or Clover?
Oh, I don't know.
Clover.
Clover won. So now Dead Horse, you're the
In this room, only Bob.
Yeah. So that might change. You're going to be doing some road trips, and people, if you haven't been to Salt Lake City, number one, it is a very cool place to visit. It is a beautiful area. It's just a neat place, and you've got lots of gun stuff up there. Number one thing being the Browning Museum. So we talked about that a little earlier. I think that is on this channel, so that is available to go back and watch. With the help of Gunstreamer and YouTube and GunTube.org, the better of the three. I'll be moving all the Daily Gun shows over eventually, and we'll be putting up the audios, at some point on iTunes. Obviously, that's not number one priority or nothing, but one of our goals will be to get Jimmy on board as a full-time person over at Gun Channels, and whenever that happens, that would, I imagine, free up some time that we could do projects like that. So that would be our goal, is to get all the shows accumulated into one place. But until then, I think you can get those shows on this one, the Daily Gun Show channel.
I think Nice Strike just had a heart attack when he heard 600 episodes are going to be uploaded to GunTube.
A little.
Oh, no. Not till he's got more than $33 coming in on Patreon each month. Let's not forget about people that are putting in the real work and don't have businesses behind them. But anyway, so Dead Horse, maybe we'll see. And then I guess, like, say, people visit. You don't live in Salt Lake City, but you can get there. And that's what, keep on. So Ghost, I'm in. Yeah.
No, I've actually, I want to, before you go on, I want to say I've been in Salt Lake City, and truly it is a great place to visit. I mean, right next to the Browning Museum, there's a great train museum if you're into that. And the Browning Museum has all kinds. It's not just guns. There's all kinds of other stuff there. So for sure.
Go to the Air Museum? Did you go to the Air Museum and that Air Force Base? It's between the city and the Browning Museum?
No, I never got there.
There's that one too. And there's probably a lot more Dead Horse hotels.
I actually, next time I go down, I'm going to spend a lot more time there.
Okay, Ghost. Can Ghost go now?
Do I have to go? No, I think my same as Clover's, because I've met you and Gary and Night Strike and Pink and obviously Clover. So I think Clover and I probably have met the same people.
Okay, well, that's still a lot of people. And then we got Gary.
And I've met you and Clover and Ghost and Night Strike.
And Pink didn't get down there, yeah. So then we got Osh. We got an interesting mix.
Yeah, so I've met you. I've met Bob. I've met Marco. I've met Girk. I've met Darren Day, who is a watcher. I don't know if he's still watching. And then there was another Gun Channels guy. He moved to Arizona, I believe, or Michigan or something like that.
Guy 45.
Say it again?
When me and you and Smeggy and him and everybody went to lunch? No.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So then that was Guy 40.
Guy. Yes, Guy. So I met Guy.
Are we talking about this in general or just in this room? Because we met over 30 people in Tulsa by itself.
Yeah, he's
plus SHOT Show.
Pulling a Bob. In this room,
I'm opening it up. Sorry.
Okay, my bad.
Pink, Bob, and me.
In this room, Bob and you. Yeah.
And me.
Oh yeah, Pink. for sure.
So then Night Strike.
I've met G-Webs, Clover, Ghost, and Gizzard Gary in this room.
Then Pink, you're probably, like say, you're up there too with meeting people. You've been out, probably been to more locations than any of us except Marco.
Yeah. So it'd be Bob, Clover, you, Ghost, Osh. So yeah, I'm at 5 with Ghost and Clover.
And that's interesting because you didn't go to Tulsa, so you got your 5 in a whole different number of in different places.
Right.
And then like we've met multiple times, so that's kind of neat too. Some of us, if we started counting number of encounters, it would go up a bit, quite a bit actually.
Yep.
And then me and us met up. So have you met anybody else yet?
Jimmy, but he doesn't know about it. And the Tom too, right?
Yeah, I guess so. And then yeah, I guess you weren't, or you were probably hanging out or whatever when Bob was down here before.
Oh yeah, I think I've actually run into Bob over at Tucson Guns. So.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Weird, awkward and creepy, but whatever. That happens.
Well, he just remembers an old guy with no shirt on. So.
Wearing a Canadian flag or something.
I wear my shirt when I go in stores, and shoes.
Just no pants, right, Bob?
No pants.
I wear pants all the time.
But I think that's pretty cool. I mean, there's people that are in the industry and they meet with each other over the years, right? And then there's people that go to sports games or whatever, probably meet up, or paintball teams. I don't know. Competitive shooters, I'm sure, meet up. But I never really knew when we built gun channels, however long ago now, going on 5 years, that it would turn into a kind of thing where we got not only meeting up, but meeting up in multiple locations over the years. I mean, if you count SHOT Show, we've been meeting up as gun channels at SHOT Show now for, I can't even count, I guess the whole time. NRA, same thing, and it's just awesome. It's it doesn't, no single person is gun channels, no single little clique or crew, and it evolves over time. And in some of these things like Big 3 and like the Iraqi vet shoot, are things that aren't even open to the public, and gun channels has been there. We don't go there and make a big thing about it. Nobody us to be there. In fact, you guys are putting out all this money on your own for your own reasons and for your own interests and for your own satisfaction of it, and I appreciate that. It's just really cool. It's awesome to be a part of it. We're coming up on our 5th year now, so hopefully we'll do something like this, but even bigger with everybody. Maybe we'll start exploring some other options. We could have probably done this on GunTube, but it would have been more appropriate than doing it on stupid YouTube, but that's where we have the channel for now. But again, really appreciate everybody joining in over the years. Bob, thanks for jumping back tonight. We didn't have room. Angelina's out there. Like I say, I knew Smeggy had plans for this weekend, and Dano's working. But it's kind of cool getting everybody back together as much as we can. And it is a big family, so we don't know everybody who's out there, but you are. If you're helping us, if you're helping me and Ghost and Clover and Night Strike and the others who have Patreons, you're literally making this stuff. You're keeping the lights on, keeping people motivated to keep doing it, and can't appreciate it enough. I'm done. I talked a lot. If anybody wants to say anything, feel free.
We appreciate you. Appreciate what you're doing here. Believe in what you're doing. You give all of us bums a place to go. You give us a little home. And to all the bums on the board, love all you guys. Keep it up.
I like the fact that it truly has become a family. I mean, everybody bandies about that word. Oh, this is a family. This is a family. But I mean, this really is a gun community family where, we're friends. Honest to God, you meet somebody that you've talked to online, which sounds creepy. And then you go, oh crap, they're just like the people I talk to, because they are.
Yeah. Duh. Yeah.
Exactly. But it is such a great family.
When you meet people like from gun channels, right? It's like family you got to pick, because you've already figured out, they're interesting to talk to, and you've got things in common. You talk all night, or you talk, during your shows a lot or whatever, in the before and after chats. So, you pretty much have a pretty good idea what these people are all about. So unlike going to like a family reunion where you kind of bite your cheek every once in a while and talk to Aunt Strange or whatever, or cousin Doofus, right? It's like a whole different thing. It's like meeting up with old friends, even though you've never actually met. You're shaking hands for the first time. It's really a neat experience. And like Bob said, I'm sure when we describe it to people, or people, don't understand, then yeah, they're gonna think it's a little weird, I guess, on the surface. But it is kind of neat, and it's something about the internet, and that's one of the reasons I think there's so much potential in what we got here. There's so much ability to get real information across. I'll quit pitching this. I was going to shut up. Sorry. Whoever wants to go next, go next.
I was going to say that TriggerCon's coming up. If there's any Gun Channels members up in that area, I know Marco and Too Hottie would appreciate the meetup.
Oh, go ahead, Hosh.
I would just like to thank the Academy. We spent a lot of time. It took a long time to get this thing together. I'd like to thank
you fucking liberal.
Anyway, I've had a great time meeting everybody that I've actually met in person, but have a blast talking to all of you and all this fun stuff. So, yeah, looking forward to more years, as always, keeping it going in whatever form that it exists in, because this group is probably going to stick together and keep moving together, which is nice. It's always nice to be able to talk to you and be able to hop on just about any time and be able to talk to friends. I think that's the coolest part about it. So thanks for all of that.
I'm going to break my rule and keep saying thanks to you too, because your whole ham radio crash course thing has brought a whole nother element to the gun channels. I mean, we know people who have now gone out and pursued it and got their licenses, but like you say, we're going to stick together with GunTube, right? Night Strike's looking forward. It's got a place where we can chat that isn't dependent on YouTube. As YouTube crumbles and fails, it'll go away, and the other people will try to come up with solutions. But we'll stick together. And if the internet falls apart, if Al Gore can't keep it running, Hosh is out there looking forward even further at other alternate ways of using devices or radio waves.
Yeah, we'll be mesh netting. We'll be mesh networking. We'll have to get our own little internet mesh devices to be able to talk to each other in the future.
But seriously, we're kidding. But I can remember even just when I was looking at ham radio more intensely when I was getting my license, which it was instigated by watching people on YouTube and showing how easy it was, USN, ER Doc, and the others. And once I started looking into it, just back then, how crude tech, or what do you want to call it, like internet, like modems over ham, were kind of crude, and they're not anymore. Just watching some of the stuff that you've done, it's impressive. So yeah, we'll still be connected, and like-minded people will still be connecting each other, even if they get worse than restricting YouTube, right? When they get
we all exist in little Venn diagrams that we overlap in different spaces. I run into people all the time in videos that don't have anything to do with guns, but we're still a community in a lot of different ways. And those Venn diagrams kind of exist for a reason, and we should just kind of talk about all those things and include them in our normal discussions, which we do here. So another good outlet for those things. So again, thank you for that opportunity, and thank you for everybody that continues to watch. That's the big part of it, is having people watching.
Yeah, I used to have my license when I was a kid, and you've got me pulling the radio gear back out of the closet. So,
well, it's too true.
I enjoy spending other people's money, man. That's my favorite thing to do.
Communication. I mean, that's the thing that keeps us solvent, right? Is being able to communicate with each other, to know that we're not an isolated, because they want to isolate us.
You are 100% right, Bob, and that's one thing I like about gun channels, is because where else can a bunch of like-minded individuals, not always like-minded, right? But a lot of things in common, because at least we're all firearm enthusiasts. Where else can we all get together, chat live, whether it's via the text chat or hopping in a hangout in an open lobby on a show, participating, learning other people's points of view from all around the world. Literally, I've met people on here from Finland, from Russia, from Korea, from just literally all around the world, right? So I just don't know. I can't imagine any other place where I can have learned as much and picked as many people's brains than gun channels.
Yeah, I mean, I'll even take it a step further. Is I was talking about in the beginning, I found gun channels the very first time from doing a search and found the Daily Gun Show. It's the Daily Gun Show initially kind of introduced me to gun channels. And the last, mine's coming up on. I looked it up, by the way, and mine's August 6th. So August 6th will be my year anniversary. But I mean, gun channels has changed my life in so many ways, not just from the YouTube side, but some of the people that I call my dearest and best friends in the world, I've met through this. So I mean, without gun channels, my life would not be the same as it is right now. So, thank you very much, G, for doing what you do. And we say that all the time to you, but you probably showed off. Oh, yeah, but we're serious. I mean, you created a place for us to delinquents to hang out. So, thank you for all that you do.
Thanks.
It's nice not to have to sneak out behind the gym anymore. It's lovely.
Right.
Clover, you're just something else.
Well, plus another good tool that we use that for is to keep each other informed on state issues. I mean, we've used it for, what was it?
The rallies?
Yeah, the rallies.
Elections.
Well, just look at the Early Watch Nation. I mean, how far that.
I was trying to think of that name, Early Watch Nation.
Yeah, we've pretty much taken a lead in keeping people informed on 2A
Various
stuff.
topics.
Yeah. And I think that's pretty cool how we kind of thought we were in the background, but now we're jumping out and taking the lead on some things.
And with all the ways that they're trying to shut our voice down, it's always good to have a gun-friendly platform to get that message out.
Yeah, I also appreciate, because it's fairly recent in my quote unquote career in YouTube, but the gun channel's support staff and family. Just look at the influx of creators that has popped up even in the last 6 months, and that's all because of the support that everyone gets on gun channels. I mean, I think you ask anyone that's started in the last 6 months to a year, and gun channels is a vital part of their channel's creation.
I like the real-time help on gun channels, unlike other sources like forums and stuff, where not only you might have to wait hours or days for an answer to one of your questions, but you also have to interpret their text, right? Whereas on gun channels, literally I've watched so many people get their questions answered real-time, live, on video. Oh, you have a question about this gun? I have that gun. Let me pull it out, put it on video, show you exactly what I'm talking about, and it's just a much better resource, and where you could search YouTube for hours to try and find that answer. So gun channels, I mean, I don't know anywhere else 24 hours a day you can go and just usually get an answer like instantly live, on video. I mean,
well, didn't you just get that help here recently with your
my reloading press from Russ?
Reloading press, yeah.
I sure did. It just so happened that the press I bought, Russ owns like 5 of them, right? So like the guy's dare I say, an expert on it. I was able, instead of me dinking around for it for the entire day, within like an hour, he was able just to pretty much help me get my press completely set up and working perfectly. I mean, perfectly. My press runs like a champ because of that guy. So thank you again, Russ, for that. That was so awesome.
No, not a problem, man. I was happy to do it.
Right on. So
family.
Looks like Flath was going to be voted #1 fan for having his little baby on their 600th show, and on Clover's.
Seriously.
Yeah, 7.9 pound baby boy.
Really?
That's awesome. Congratulations.
Tiny Flath. Is he sure it's his? I mean, you'd think it was Flath's kid. It'd be like 12.8 pounds.
That's Bob.
Thanks, Bob.
Leave it to Bob. Nice, Bob.
Stay classy, Bob.
Get classy.
All right. Well, I appreciate all those good words about gun channels and the show. And like I say, it's got our 5th year anniversary coming up. So I'm curious for ideas what we should do. We'll do all kinds of stuff, ideally. And I don't know if anybody else has anything else. Otherwise, I think a couple people had quotes. Does somebody have a quote at least?
Yeah, I got a quote. If no one else does. I got one.
I've done the last few. I'll let somebody else do one.
Yeah, I've done a few too. So if someone else wants to go in there, I mean, feel free.
All right. Well, let's not forget that we are one of many shows. So I don't know if anybody's going to do something later on tonight, but often on Fridays, it'll either be rockin' or dead. I hope tonight it'll be rockin'. And we could do something on GunTube and watch a movie, or we could do something on the live thing and just chat it up. But either way, tomorrow, Travis is doing a show, right? Caliber Corner in the morning. Then Rick's Life as I See It starts in the afternoon, I think 3 p.m. Eastern. Do we have the normal Saturday lineup tomorrow then?
Should have. Yeah.
Our dot starts it off. Well, I guess kind of starts it off with the evening shows, at least with the Clearing the Chamber, and then this week Unloaded. Sarge will do his show after that, and then of course Smeggy and Moon do their giant extravaganza. I think it's their 7,000th show, so that'll be an impressive one. 7,000 shows. They were the first show on YouTube.
Cool.
Anyway, then Sunday stuff happens as well. We'll be back here on Monday, same time, and on Gun Channels, midnight.
Mondays, every second matters as well.
Oh, snap. Thanks.
All right, cool. Want to do a quote?
Somebody's got a quote?
Yeah, I'll do one. Just in case there's any anti-gunners out there watching, this is specifically for you. So, food for thought here. This one comes from Sigmund Freud. A fear of weapons is a sign of retarded sexual and emotional maturity.
The guys and gals of GunWebsites.com encourage you to take a CCW class every year, practice at least once a month, and carry every day. Thanks for watching GunWebsites.com. The guys and gals of GunWebsite